Welcome to Hampden Park, where Scotland Women's Nations League journey continues. Alison, it was an opening game defeat at the hands of Austria. What did you make of the performance overall?
I thought it was difficult. I think Scotland started fairly well, but then when Austria scored so earlier on, I felt as though there was just a bit of belief was punctured within the team. I think, to me, it looks as though there is still a hangover, an echo from the failure to qualify for the European Championships this summer in the manner of that defeat against Finland back in December. I know the squad looks very different from them. You know, we saw, I think it was 4 debuts on Friday night, players coming in, a freshening of the squad, but I think it'd be fair to say you still saw some of the old issues that underpinned those 3 successive failed tournaments still very much at the forefront of Scotland's performance, and I think that won't be an easy fix. It won't come across one camp. As Mick Mardo said in his pre-match press conference, it's going to take a bit of time regardless of who the manager is, but I think crucially Scotland need to find a bit of conviction and a bit of belief.
Mick Mardo made 7 changes to the squad coming into this campaign. Is that a bit of a risk bringing so many inexperienced players into the mix?
Yeah, it is, but I think he needed to freshen it up from what had gone before. It's difficult because they're taking on a new management team, a new style. He's interim, so you don't know how long he's going to be here for, and they're trying to adapt from something that he knew for so long. So it's really difficult to expect that to happen kind of in one camp. It's not like a club where they're in and day out. So I think it will take a bit of time, but I think involving the young players is good. It's bringing some freshness and something a bit different.
Alison, you said the players have to go over the heartbreak of what happened not qualifying for the tournaments. How do they go over that and quickly?
I just think they're professional footballers. They're used to games coming thick and fast. They're used to not being able to have time to dwell on success or failure. I think it's probably important to analyse where it went wrong. I think to look at the performances that simply weren't good enough at points, particularly I think against Finland. I think Scotland had actually built up a fair bit of momentum getting into those 2 games, but I think the particular soreness for the players will probably lie in how they performed at Easter Road. I think that display through in Leith that night in the first leg was pretty abject, and I think there's probably a number of players feeling as though they maybe let themselves down when it comes to the regrets and the what ifs. However, you cannot afford to sit and think about it for too long. It's gone. They can't change it. The only thing that can affect now is laying the foundations for a World Cup campaign for 2027. It's imperative that this Scotland squad qualifies for a next tournament. That's 3 successive big tournaments have passed them by. I think you can sense an apathy about the women's national team. It's been reflected in attendances regardless of where the game has been played, and I think if you want to bring people back, if you want to build and encourage excitement around the national team and an interest in it, then they have to be going and competing against the best. There has to be a focus in that comes from that, and of course there's then a financial reward that comes from that, which can be reinvested back into the game here, and I think Scotland cannot afford not to qualify for the next World Cup.
You're absolutely right, and Scotland keeper Lee Gibson says she's hoping the team can pick up some success as they couldn't quite manage that in previous campaigns.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it's. I think we were obviously under Pedro for a few years, and you learn to kind of play that style of play, which was really fun to play in. But ultimately, performance-wise, we failed on numerous occasions of getting to major tournaments, which is what we're judged on. So, you know, I've known Mick for a while and seen how well he's done through the pathways, so it's a good challenge for everybody.
Cheryl, just going into tomorrow night's game here at Hampden Park against the Netherlands, what will Mick Mardo and the team take from their previous game into this one?
Yeah, they're just going to be looking to get a solid performance and improve on what was a pretty dismal performance and result against Austria. It's going to be really difficult for them. The Netherlands are a really top team. I just think they're going to have to just put in a shift and see how they go. I'm not expecting them to win, but it would be good to see them just being a bit more galvanised and putting across a bit more of the style that he's been trying to put into them this week.
What you want to see is a competitive Scotland going up against the Netherlands. We all know that the Netherlands are ranked significantly higher than Scotland, that they have players performing at the best level across Europe. It's easy to forget that Scotland do too. You know, Caroline Weir is out playing at Real Madrid. They're obviously missing the likes of Erin Cuthbert, Rachel Corsie through injury, but I think what you want to see is just something there that suggests that this is a team that's moving in the right direction. I think Mick Mardo made a really good point about there has to be serious improvement in both boxes. I think Scotland have been cheaply conceding goals. I think you saw it on Friday night against Austria. I thought the defending for that goal was lamentable. I thought Scotland can be doing so much better than that. And then of course there were chances within that game. Emma Lawton was really unlucky not to score with a header. It was just unfortunate. She glanced it straight off the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper didn't actually make a save or a block. It was directed straight towards her. I think sometimes those small moments can change games, but what you need from the Scotland team is to see a bit of belief, a bit of conviction, and you want to see them go and actually be competitive, because if they are going to go back to World Cups, European Championships, this is the level, this is what you're going up against. And what you're seeing since the last time that Scotland were there in 2019 is that the rest of Europe has moved on dramatically, that the women's game across the continent has moved at a significant pace, and I'm not sure Scotland have quite kept up with it in terms of week to week in domestic football, so it's imperative that there is some kind of scope to build towards that.
Well, hopefully Scotland can get the job done. On behalf of myself, Cheryl and Alison, thanks for listening and thanks for watching.